Goals, determination, and persistence. These are the three characteristics which are required for becoming an extraordinary person. If you become more aware of yourself, you will be able to spot the factors which are hindering your growth, which are hindering your journey towards being extraordinary. Be prepared if you want to become extraordinary to see that there will be a lot of forces against you. Passion is the secret of being extraordinary from ordinary. Planning, goal setting, and tracking are the tools that can be used to become extraordinary. And extraordinary people do use these tools very regularly.
Sir, I have often heard you say that life has only two options. That is, either you grow
Right.
or you decay.
Right.
Either you be ordinary or you be extraordinary.
Right.
So, sir, what is the difference between being an ordinary person and an extraordinary person?
There is only one difference, and that is captured in word extra. Ordinary and extraordinary. We keep saying generally that if you keep thinking the same way as you have been doing, you'll get the same results. Therefore, extraordinary is that you do something, you think something different on a daily basis. Now, extra puts a pressure on a person to continuously grow because there are only two alternatives in the nature. There is no steady status quo nature. Nature is either growing or declining. We also can grow or decline, whether it is business or life. Therefore, growth is the only alternative if you want to live life fully. That principle will make you extraordinary. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, sir. So, sir, you have said the difference between an ordinary and extraordinary is extra.
Yes.
So, how one can get that extra?
Extra needs you to develop, or anyone to develop self-mastery. Now you'll ask me, what is self-mastery? So let me answer to you that also. Self-mastery is that when you master yourself. Now, unfortunately, the challenge here is that most people would like to make a change or see a change in others, circumstances or people. But self-mastery people will always continuously look for opportunities in changing self. Therefore, they develop self-mastery and therefore they become extraordinary.
So, sir, you have said what is self-mastery. So, can you give us some tips like how can we achieve self-mastery?
Yeah, for that you will have to understand little life differently. Generally, people don't ask that question, what is life? So we'll have to ask a question, what is life? And why do I want to have self-mastery and why do I want to become extraordinary? But life is many dimensions. For example, body, mind and soul. They are in our own control. And then there are dimensions like society, family and business or career. Dimensions which are outside our control, but we live in those dimensions. So self-mastery will come when you focus on each dimension of life. For example, you can always work on your body for betterment in terms of physical strength, in terms of stamina, in terms of fitness. So when you work on those goals which take you to a better body, better mind, better soul, better society, better family, better career, better business, you are moving towards extraordinary journey. Tips is number one is set goals in each dimensions of life. But I must warn you before getting into details of that our society generally does not like somebody to become extraordinary because a mass of mediocrity, mass of ordinary people have a tendency to pull down somebody who wants to become extraordinary. Therefore, be prepared if you want to become extraordinary to see that there will be a lot of forces against you who would like you to be as they are, ordinary. Therefore, this needs tremendous determination. So goals, determination and persistence, these are the three characteristics which are required for becoming an extraordinary person. Okay, tip number 2. Before I give you tip number 2, I must tell you what is the reality in life. Most people are living unconscious life. My experience with thousands of people is we are living life by habits, and attitudes developed over childhood and that we are living through on a daily basis. Therefore, the first change you will have to bring in yourself is, can you enhance your awareness level? If you become more aware of your habits and attitudes, you will be able to spot the factors which are hindering your growth, which are hindering your journey towards being extraordinary. Tip number 3. My experience with thousands of people is that generally people think why it cannot happen for any situation. I always say, don't think that way. Think, how can it happen? In other terms, I can say, tip number 3 is think positive, think solutions, and not think negative, not think problems. Okay, tip number 4. I have found people working, especially working class or even students, they are into something which they don't love. Therefore, I keep saying, do what you love and love what you do. Now, where do you start? Therefore, whatever you're doing is develop a love. Now, how will it benefit and how will it help you to become extraordinary? Is very simple. When you start doing something you love or love doing what you're doing, you develop a quality called passion. Passion is the secret of greatness. Passion is the secret of being extraordinary from ordinary. And you will find all successful people in any field of life, whether it's sports, whether it's politics, whether it is business, people who have succeeded and come up to very high levels, they were passionate in whatever they were doing. Now, if you have landed into something which you don't love, quit and find out something which you can love. Tip number 5. I think it is related with passion also, because passion is founded on a foundation called curiosity. If you are curious, you develop interest. If you have interest, you develop knowledge. If you are knowledgeable, you develop belief. When you are in belief mode, you become passionate. And therefore, curiosity will bring us to another point which should be looked after, is that we must continuously have an attitude of learning. So, learning attitude means see things with curiosity and not with past and memory. Therefore, successful people are always focused on the futuristic angle rather than getting into past mode.
So, you gave these valuable tips to achieve self-mastery. But how to make sure that to continue these tips?
A very good question, because persistence is a quality of extraordinary people, and this quality is required here in application of tips also. The first step probably for that would be that you become very clear and set master goals. And having set goals, you draw a plan of action. And having made a plan of action, you will have to on a daily basis track the performance or the improvement process. So tracking therefore becomes a very important tool. So planning, goal setting and tracking are the tools that can be used to become extraordinary. And extraordinary people do use these tools very regularly, religiously.